We've had misgivings with remasters, remakes, reimaginings, redos and re-everything when it comes to games, ladies and gents. We have had somewhat of a success, a lot of failures. So, when yesterday the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remake dropped out of absolutely nowhere from Bethesda along with the reveal trailer, everybody was absolutely excited, hyped, and rushed to play the game because they knew they were in for an experience, and everything started to become just right for gaming. For about 5 minutes. Greetings, ladies and gents, my name is Hyozo the Bearded Balkan Blabbermouth, and I am DiscussThing, and I want to dedicate this video to what gaming used to be and what people used to be for that matter, because we used to be able to agree to disagree, and we used to be able to be mid people, to be based, to be able to disseminate what happens when you have something that is not great, but it doesn't ruin the overall experience, and when you have something truly abhorrent that should not exist and it ruins the entire experience whatsoever. And Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is apparently one of those cases. But before this video continues, I do want to urge you to subscribe, like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and join my channel and become part of the DiscussThing Guild by becoming a member and supporting my career on YouTube, becoming full-time. I thank you very much. Cheers, and let's get back to the video. So, Elder Scrolls 4 released yesterday on a Tuesday, and it released with a day one Game Pass, and it released on Steam as well. And as you can see, it has been breaking all kinds of records when it comes to a game of its age and size. Let me just remind you, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is a game that is 19 years old. It's legal, but ladies and gents, it is very much legal. And it is a game that has been completely visually reimagined with upgrades to both the UI, the HUD, the combat system, and the visual aspects of the game, along with a lot other things. And you would say, well, why would anyone be unhappy about this? Oblivion was a very beloved game, and everyone who played it wanted to play a modern version of it. And we even got the news about the Sky Oblivion, which was and still is a fan project merging Skyrim and Oblivion into creating something amazing. The game is also the #1 top seller since yesterday, and just the fact that it released on a Tuesday on a $50 price tag and having 182,000 people peaking 16 hours ago, which is an amazing number, and we're still not into the weekend, let me remind you, having Twitch stats as it is, 460,000 people watching, and having a slew of positive reviews on 80+%, which is very good for a game like this, you would see that this is the perfect game. Well, no. It does have one or two glaring problems, and while some of them are legit and they should be addressed, the way some people reacted to it and decided to run with that narrative just proved that gaming as a community is also broken. A quick disclaimer, I have not played Oblivion because it was a little bit before my interest in such games peaked, and I didn't have any option to be playing it when I had the interest already back in the days, so I will not be talking about gameplay experience and anything else. But this is a post from Yorch Torch Games, someone who you know I do not respect as an opinion whatsoever, however, who is sadly prominent enough to be able to run a narrative or two pushing them forward. He says, gamers, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered tried to destroy the legacy of what it made it the original great. Don't support, embrace tradition. And what do you think happened happened that made George Torch so angry, so mad, that he thinks that the new Oblivion is an absolute degeneracy, an absolute mockery of the game? Is it something very serious? Is it game breaking? Is it something that will give you the creeps just by playing all those hours of the game that you're immersed in? Well, no, it actually had this thing. You see, this is from Pirate Nation, and he posted a graph with the original Oblivion, which had male and female. You had Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind with the changed sex. You had Skyrim's with the sex male and female. And we have Oblivion Remastered, which has body type 1 and 2. And for those who don't know that what body type 1 and 2 are, it's basically a very prominent woke tactic of the woke gaming industry to degender people in video games and just have you choose a body type which is looking male or looking female without assigning a gender to it. It's an absolute idiotic thing to do, and the woke media and the woke narrative has room with it, with very, very prominent titles already, and he's trying to push it even further. But this is the glaring problem that apparently had the gaming community divided once again. And I don't know how to say this, but get a fucking grip, you people. I know, and I would admit, having this in a game, having the body type 1 and 2 is something to be concerned about. It is a concerning factor, yes indeed, because it means that someone out there who is not a real gamer, in my opinion, had a say in what to do. In addition, you have also this. They're censoring the modding community from trying to reverse this and make it male and female. Nexus mod had deleted the body type mod for Oblivion. This is reposted by Grumps, and it's from Pirate Nation again. The mod was up for about 30 minutes, moderator locked the comments, then deleted the mod 10 minutes later. I agree. I totally agree that it is something to irk you, to have you angry about, because I don't like body type 1 and 2 personally in video games as well. However, I have talked about this before. It is one thing to have a woke game. It is totally horrible to have to see a franchise go down that road and completely wokeify a game. And it's also another thing to have woke elements in the game that are just isolated instances. Now, we will have to wait for a full review of someone who had played through the entire game, completionist, and who saw everything, and for them to get their perspective about this, if this actually carries on throughout the experience of the game and it changes it fundamentally. However, when you have something like this, an element, a woke element, considering there are still woke games out there and the woke community is far from over, if that doesn't affect your play, your gaming experience, the storyline, the progression of the game, the whole gaming experience, seeing a 19-year-old game modernized in that way visually and in terms of specs, in terms of action, in terms of combat, then I don't think that this is a deal breaker. And I stand by my words, because you have had other games that have had optional stuff or some stuff inserted into them. I would remind you that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does have that gay scene, which is optional, which is very specific to find. Does it break the game? No, because it's optional. And now you have a body type 1 and 2, and they look male and female. Okay, they're not called male and female, but is that the main thing of the game? Is that the thing that the whole game revolves around for? No, it does not. It's a thing in the game. And yes, it's bad and it's worrying that such a game element exists in the game in the first place, and it should not exist. I agree. I had a small talk with the 40k Empress earlier today, and we agree that these elements should not exist in the first place. However, sometimes you cannot have anything, and I am in support of protesting to have that changed into male and female, and I am pretty sure that with enough pressure from the gaming community, this will change, and they will allow at least the modding community to mod this game. However, it is certainly not a cause to have a game banned, to have a game non-binary, especially if the game is great. We have had several games even in recent times, who had all the woke elements or the woke adjacent elements. I can, on the top of my head, point to Split Fiction, which is something Smash JT played with Hypnotic, and I watched all of their streams, and it was an amazing, very creative game with 2 female protagonists, something that is a very much no-no to the far-right gaming community, which, in my opinion, are not gamers at all. But the game was awesome. It had woke elements, sure, but it was an amazing game. And if you want to go even further than that, I will give you the old classic example of Mass Effect. The Mass Effect trilogy has a lot of woke elements. You have a transgender species that is neither male or female and basically adjusts to their partner's needs. You have gay elements, you have strong female protagonists, you have all those things. However, the thing is, they don't break the game, they don't break the immersion, they do not detriment from the game being awesome and having badasses, even female and male badasses, and even alien badasses that do not define sex the way we do, and it doesn't serve as a bothersome thing. It is probably considered a woke thing now, but it wasn't back then. It was just a thing that it was a deviation from what we have standardly seen, but the mindset then was, if it works and if it's cool, yeah, we accept it and we don't need to have a closed mind over it, which is basically what gamers should be. They should be the most open-minded people to a point, and to be able to accept good change, critical, but accepting when it is good. That is the nature of a gamer, in my opinion. And here we have Packer Girls, who very slenderly brings me to my wider point of this video. Gamers, liking Doom the Dark Ages means that you're part of the modern audience. This clown said that same thing about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction. And Your Stores Games, again, the main protagonist of these people that are apparently trying to set off something they want to call Gamergate 3, says, gamers, the modern audience does exist. Yes, it does. We are the modern audience. We're the people who play games. We are the people who engage in games, not the woke modern audience that they want to say. We are the audience, and I'm taking that term back because it is the modern times, it is the current times, and we gamers are still here. It is represented by the millions who watch Pedro Pascal slop and still get hyped for any Disney, Star Wars, Marvel projects. Here's the starter pack. What else would you add? And he has a picture of The Last of Us TV show, Fallout, God of War Ragnarok, and the woman who is represented in the Doom Dark Ages trailer. Now, first of all, God of War had that anger ball character, but the game was great, so you're wrong on every level there. And having a woman who does look rugged, but let me tell you, that does not look like a ugly woman. And I can tell you from the trailer that this is not a good frame of her, because I have seen the trailer and it truly doesn't represent her in the best way when you see this picture. And also, she's rugged, she's rough, because she is in the middle of a fucking demonic war for all this time. So if you expected some lolly Japanese girl with a school uniform, or possibly his butt buddy JDA, then yeah, I got a bad news for you, it's not gonna happen. And if you don't believe me, let me just show you. If gooning is something, if sexy forms are something that some people only care about in a video game, then observe this. This is from Oblivion Remastered. I mean, anyone has a fireproof suit and possibly a fire extinguisher if anything goes wrong. Hot damn. Yeah, this is from Oblivion, and just look at this. This is like next level gooning material, and you can say whatever you like, but this is fucking hot. And yeah, I do follow the pun here. One gives you a woody and one is hot. Yeah, and that's basically what it means to have balance in video games. That basically means what it means to be based. I understand and I completely support the criticism of Oblivion for the body type 1 and 2, and its bitch move to not allow modders to go out and basically give the people what they want. I mean, you have a 19-year-old game, you have spent years remastering, remaking, to giving players what they want supposedly, and you're not going to allow them to just tinker a bit more of it to their preference because what you chose as a preference does not align with their views. That's a bad move from Bethesda. That's a very bad move, and it's not going to correlate well. However, you see the numbers, you have seen what the SteamDB page looks like, and it means that a lot of people just don't give a fuck about them. Why? Because it's not a crucial part of the game. Yes, the character creation is one of the main things that you start a game like that with. However, when you make the character, you play with them and you get immersed in your game. And if the game is good, if the game is what people remember, and if it plays to the nostalgia from 19 years ago, well, with the modern twist of good graphics currently and upgraded combat, then people are not going to give a fuck about these things. And I support that as well, because you don't dismiss anything just because it has a snippet of it. Imagine you're receiving your favorite car in the world and it's in the color that you want, but the color is a slightly different shade than what you have expected, and it's not the entirety of perfection that you wanted. It has this little deviation from your perfect image, and then the company that sold you the car refuses to allow you to change the color, even by a little. But it is your favorite car, and you have always wanted to drive it again after so many years, and it is perfect, it is modern, it is powerful. It takes you wherever you want to go in a good way, and you're having a ton of time playing it. But when you get outside, you just notice the little smudge that is not that exact color that you want. And yeah, it's probably gonna bother you just a little bit, but you're not gonna return the car for that, are you? It's not like you see it from the outside when you drive it and you were having a good time behind the wheel, is it? And who knows, maybe the company that sold you the car will lift that ban for changing the color very soon, because more people like you are telling them, come on, let us change the color to our perfect one. And that's gonna make everything great for the future. In any case, that's all I have to say for this video. Tell me what you think about in the comments below. Do you support banning this game, non-buying it just because of that body 1 and body 2 type? Are there other glaring issues that would make this game a non-binary that maybe not a lot of people have found yet, and you did? If so, tell me in the comments below. Click the like and click the subscribe button as well. Click the join button and become part of the DiscussThing Guild members. And if you want to join me on my Discord and my social media, my X account, and all other links that are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. My name is RazieL. This was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.